Hello, fellow tappers. We are back for episode 7 of the Tappers Talk podcast, and we have got a lot of cool stuff that we're going to be running through today. So, we're going to be discussing the current update, which is the Treehouse of Horror. The latest Treehouse of Horror update, and then we're going to be having a look at the question of the month, which is, what is the best themed update? I think it was with the Christmas. Was it the Christmas update with Treehouse of Horror update?
Type. Yeah, best themed update.
All right. Yeah. Yes. So we've got that, and then we're also going to be having a look to the show at the Treehouse of Horror V episode. Yeah. And then we've got the Blast from the Past, which is the Northward Bound update. And then, we're ending with the Q&A. So,
no special guest this time either.
No. Sadly not, but you have to put up with us, but yeah.
Alright.
Cool. Okay.
Shall we jump into it?
Yeah, let's get started with the current update.
Yeah, Treehouse of Horror XXXIII something. It's 3 X's, 3 I's.
Exactly.
But whoever remembers the Roman numerals, really. I like this one for the most part. I still don't think it's anything. I don't know. It doesn't wow me enough, I feel. But then I'm quite cynical when it comes to Treehouse of Horror updates. But I do think this is definitely a massive step up from last year. So we can definitely say that. And I'm sure both of you would agree with me there.
Yeah,
definitely.
This is a really fun one.
Yeah.
Yeah, very, very fun.
I think I love a lot of the buildings and decorations in this one. I just think the characters and that one costume kind of let it down a little for me.
I think we've got some decent characters, but like the bad characters kind of like overwhelm the few good ones.
Well, out of the characters that we've obviously all been able to unlock and see so far,
and we don't have the itchy and scratchy one yet either, so...
Well, we don't have the itchy one, we have the scratchy one.
Yeah. Scratchy's part 4.
No, itchy's part 4.
Yeah, itchy's
Scratchy
part 4.
Itchy's part 4.
Scratchy was the super premium.
Yeah.
Wait, so who's the person in the Act 4 prize track?
Yeah, it's a bit. Who's the person? I don't think there is one.
Yeah.
Character.
Oh wait,
is there not?
Was there an NPC?
The Saito chicken.
Oh yeah, Saito chicken.
Oh
yeah.
It's a chicken.
Yeah.
Oh, we already forgot about it. Good times.
I mean, I don't know. We'll have to see. Saito chicken could be amazing. Who knows? And Mad Dr. Itchy could be amazing. Who knows? But in terms of I think Mopey Mary wasn't that bad for me. I didn't think she was too bad.
I didn't love her quest line, but I felt like
she
had she's a cool character design.
She's a cool design. I didn't mind her. Oh God, I don't remember what her animations were. I've already forgot them. So maybe that's actually quite indicative.
One of them was like the thing about the animations were that they like weren't very like spooky. They were kind of like more.
Oh yeah, there was
character doing regular thing.
Yeah, there was. Yeah. I try to remember exactly what it was now, but I vaguely.
There was like one where she was like doing like a cheerleader thing.
Yeah. She's with the pom poms. Yeah, and yeah. I don't know.
Funny.
I didn't mind when I played through her character and quest lines. I kind of was like, she was okay. A lot of people were kind of like a bit mad because of. Obviously, last year's Treehouse of Horror wasn't very well received, so because she was from that set, from that Treehouse of Horror, I think a lot of people instantly thought, oh, that's going to be a crap character, but I didn't think she was that bad, to be honest.
Honestly, out of all the segments of that last year's, that was probably the best.
Yeah, I think so. Probably. I feel like
they did kind of what they could with it.
Yeah, Father Ben I didn't think was too bad. I thought he was going to be a bit mediocre. I think he is a bit. Yeah. He's a little bit. He's like a tiny step above mediocre for me. He was okay.
EA has done this thing to me where now, because a lot of times I don't go through the full like quest line during the videos because I don't like get it out quick. They don't give you the animated tasks until you finish the full quest line.
No, yeah.
Oh, really?
So
yeah.
You have to go through the full thing to get all the animated tasks.
Oh, okay.
I think Father Ben's animations were brilliant. In my opinion, there was like
Headless Horseman was probably my favorite character of the update.
See, I don't like the Headless Horseman.
Really?
I think he's just a bit mediocre. Like, I love the fact he's got an 8-part quest line, but they just don't do much with the quest line. It's a bit boring. It kind of drags on, and like the Headless Horseman visually could be such a cool character, yet he walks around your town with a head. So he's got no horse. Where's his horse? He is literally.
I felt like
he is a horseless headman. He's got a head.
They also definitely could have done something a little more creative with his building. I felt like that could have fit into the quest line, the costume shop, and they could have done something else with it.
It could have. But yeah, I don't know. I would have been happy enough if he had one animation with a horse. With his horse.
Or maybe instead of walking around, he walks around on the horse.
That would be cool. Probably asking too much. But alternatively,
it might be a little too much.
Or another thing is add him as an NPC character combo like they did with Ms. Frink with the Octoparrot. Add his horse as an NPC, and then have one animation with the horse. I just call it the Headless Horseman's horse, or the Headless Horseman's horse. I don't know. Maybe that's a bit of a long name, but something like that, or just because you see the horse in the episode that he appears in that small thing. So why not actually have?
I keep forgetting that he's not based off the like Krusty one from one of the Treehouse of Horror openings. It's like the Upstate New York song.
Yeah.
I think. Which, I mean, I guess it's Sleepy Hollow.
And there's another thing. They actually, they go full out with an 8-part questline for the Headless Horseman, which is pretty cool. Like I said, wasn't too thrilled with it, but I was like, at least they've done an 8-part questline. That's pretty awesome. Yeah. But then Edgar Allan Poe and H.P. Lovecraft all have 3-part questlines. It's so weird. Why go from going all out with one character and then the other two, arguably two characters that you have so much to do with because they're real life people who existed.
Yeah, and they can do a lot with their animations.
Yeah, and I don't hate. I think each of them each have an animation I like. Edgar Allan Poe has that one with the blinky fish and the three-eyed crow or whatever it was. And H.P. Lovecraft has the one with I'm forgetting it. He has one with a thought bubble one, right? And there's another one before that. What's the other one? The one I liked. Oh no.
I haven't actually gone through his questline yet.
Oh, is it the one with the?
Oh yeah,
sketch?
The sketch and it comes to life. Yeah, I like that one. That's pretty creative. But that both of them are the same thing. Like Edgar Allan Poe has one animation I quite like, and one I think is pretty bad. And H.P. Lovecraft has one animation I like, and one that I think is pretty uncreative. Like, I hate thought bubble animations. They annoy me because they're just so lazy. Where they're just like, I'm thinking of something, and they tease Hulk Homer in one of the thought bubbles.
But I feel like Spring King was talking about this. They have Hulk Homer in the thought bubble, but they use the weird radioactive Homer.
Yeah, in the quest line. Yeah, I mentioned that in my video. Yeah, I said that's a cop out. Like, you can't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was annoying.
We need that costume, man.
Yeah. Alright, shall we move on to buildings, or does anyone have any other things to say about the characters? Or the costume, actually.
One thing, we didn't talk about Willie the Riveteer.
Yeah.
Is it Riveter or Riveteer?
I thought it was Riveter, but maybe it's Riveteer.
Riveter.
Yeah.
Riveter, okay.
Either way, yeah.
I felt like it was kind of like a mediocre costume. I think there was the whole grown up Halloween song. I feel like there was something cooler that they probably could have added from that. So they had a lot of options. But what they did with it was okay.
I mean, I think it's a bit of a weird... I know it is a Halloween costume, within the show, but it's just a weird... it's not very Halloween-y, if you know what I mean, to include it.
Yeah.
and it felt a little kind of tagged on. I don't hate the costume on its own though. I think it's just its inclusion which I don't like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It probably could have worked in like a different thing instead. Like, you could easily put that in the 4th of July update, and no one would care.
Yeah. All right. Any other thoughts on the characters / costumes?
No.
Right.
No.
Shall we move on to talk about the buildings?
Yes.
So just starting off, I feel like we had a few like mediocre buildings, like the costume shop, that were just kind of like.
Oh, I disagree. I love the costume shop.
Me too,
Really?
actually.
I
Yeah.
think it being premium might be questionable, but
Yeah.
I think design wise it looks fine. It's a simple. It's a shop that I've wanted in the game for a while as well.
It's a cool one, but I don't feel like it fits well. Also, I feel like they probably could have done some sort of cooler feature with it. I remember a really long while back, someone said that in the Family Guy game they have like the shop where you can buy like item skins, and that they could do that with the costume shop as well.
I don't know. I think
yeah, it's a creative thing.
possibly, but then I remember I felt this way once about when they added the mall, because I thought, well, it wouldn't be so cool if they added the mall and then they did like an expansion where you could like actually like kind of like similar to Krusty Land, you could build your own mall. And when the mall was added, I hated the building purely because it didn't do what I sort of wanted. So I think I don't like to judge something based on a possible potential it could have.
That's yeah.
But I think on its own, it's a fine looking building. Although,
Honestly,
like I said, it just doesn't compare to the other, premium buildings.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
No.
I don't like it's very mediocre. I think it looks cool for what it is, but it's not like a standout. I think my favorite would either be Spine Chills or the Spook House.
Yeah, I like
I
like Spine Chills.
Spine Chills. Yeah, I think that. Yeah, a brilliant building. I mean,
I kind of wish
wow.
we actually had more of that, because it's like a whole cul-de-sac in the
Yeah.
episode, and it's like I would love more of those things because it looked really great, and it's especially just for like Halloween area.
Yeah, I don't know. I think none of the buildings have like wowed me. I think I don't know. I'd have to say I quite like the spook. I quite like the Spook House. It's quite simple, but
Yeah.
but it kind of annoys me because I'm pretty sure it's a tapped out exclusive, even though they
Isn't it? Yeah.
apparently so.
Right.
I've asked people on the wiki and stuff, and they all say that they pretty sure it's a tapped out exclusive. So
I had to look around and I couldn't find anything.
yeah, which kind of I always get a bit funny about tapped out exclusives, but I still think it looks cool. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I think worst building is probably the luxury crypt because it's just how many crypts do we have in the game already, and it doesn't stand out or anything. And the fact it's a building as well, and they have the future cemetery, and I know that
I feel like they messed up the whole after restructure.
Yeah, the Forever Cemetery could have been a building. I mean, the other cemeteries are building, like the Springfield, Fogbury Port. They're all built. Well, actually, I don't think Fogbury Port is, but the Springfield Pet, Springfield Pet, and Springfield Cemetery are both buildings. So I don't see why the Forever Cemetery can't be a building, especially considering it's like. So go on.
Yeah, it's like a movie night thing. So they could definitely be like making money from that. So.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It makes no sense. So
yeah, so
cool,
they definitely messed up.
oh yeah, it looks cool, but it's just like I think it's fine as a decoration as well. I don't see why you make the luxury crypt a building, but don't make that a building. That makes no sense to me. I think the other way around.
Definitely.
I would have been fine with having Father Ben in the beginning of the prize track, because like I feel like that's nice for new players to have character in the beginning, so they can easily get that. But like if you're gonna put the character in the beginning of the prize track, at least give us like an actual like building in the end.
Yeah, something a bit bigger, but better, I suppose.
But the Forever Cemetery, if that was at the end, I'd be much happier with that, I'd say.
Yeah. I do miss what they used to do with token and building combo and then the price tag. Those are always just kind of convenient.
Yeah, I don't know. It's weird that they. It's like people complain about the tokens, and they not only they've they just got rid of them in the price tracks completely, and it's weird. Because I think the solution is just to put them in with alongside an item, whether that be a character, building, decoration. Yeah.
Because if it's a crappy decoration or building, then you put in the token. At least it makes it a little better.
Yeah. Obviously, we had a lot of facades in this event, which is a bit. It's a bit unusual. We don't normally get tons of facades. The last time we got facades was actually last Christmas. So new facades anyway. So I thought let's talk about the facades. I guess obviously we've got the Krusty Halloween Horror Night one for the Krusty Land entrance, which I think is awesome. I really love that.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites of the event.
Yeah.
Great way to start it off.
Then obviously there's the Halloween headquarters, which is for the Columbus Day headquarters.
Yeah.
Which I kind of liked because there is actually. We've obviously already got the Halloween HQ, or is it Halloween something? There's another building in the game which is very similar. Yeah.
They made it because it was like a tie-in. Actually, they returned it for cash.
That was really cool. Yeah, but they had that building. But obviously there is another one called the Halloween headquarters, which looks different. So they could have just added. I kind of like that they added the Columbus Day and added that as a skin for it. If you know what I mean, it's kind of a cool way of getting around having basically the same building twice.
Yeah.
And then obviously
because
go on.
The Columbus Day part is tapped out original.
Yeah. Actually, because the sign says formerly Columbus on the original, when it appears in the show, it says Halloween headquarters, formerly Columbus Day headquarters. So it's kind of like a semi-exclusive, I guess.
Yeah.
But still, I think that's really cool. And then obviously you got all the ones for the houses, like the Brown House of Horror, the
Brown House one looks so great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I even appreciate like the toilet paper flying this house. It's so simple, but I don't know. I kind of like the fact that has been added. A lot of people don't like the fact that we got so many facades, but they're never something.
It makes your town better.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
I think, and it gives you a bit more variety as well. Like you don't have to have like just the, a basic Halloween. How like the Simpsons have like three. I think they have like 3 different types or 2 different types of Halloween decorations. Do you know what I mean? I think having more different types is cooler as long as they're just like distinct. They can be distinguished from each other. They're not like all generic.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right, shall we just briefly talk about decorations?
Yeah.
So, I think there's a lot of cool ones in here for sure. I like the jack-o'-lantern bouncy house, that's cool. A lot of billboards, which is a bit disappointing. But
at least we put them in a bundle for.
There was the one you got in Act 1, the Halloween Horror Night billboard, and then later there was a bundle with two billboards.
Yeah, that's not great. Yeah, 2 billboards. Yeah,
but really,
great.
In the past they've had 3 billboards as a bundle, so I don't see why we couldn't have had all 3 billboards as a bundle, and then the prize track is open for another prize in there.
Yeah.
How did
especially because
Oh, sorry, go on.
I was just saying there's definitely a lot that they could have added for the Krusty Land area for Halloween Horror. I don't see why they needed to add a billboard, especially because it's not like it's a ton of work. There's definitely some smaller decorations that you could have added to.
How does everyone feel about the Spooky Dark Plunger Gilsteel?
I feel like it was a bit lackluster. Definitely, I really liked all of the stuff in there. There was nothing bad in there, but I feel probably could have used more of just a little more or a little less donuts for what it is.
Yeah, I kind of disagree with making it premium. I don't know. I think it probably should be free. The actual plunger, I think the facades can be premium. That's fair, but the plunger being premium, I don't really like.
I feel like
No,
if they're gonna
yeah,
make it a Gills deal, make it like a blow, like make like give us like 10 facades with it,
Yeah,
because they only give us like 4, and I feel like
yeah,
it's not like great because there's definitely more houses that you can do.
it's weird how guilds deals are kind of evolving now. They don't really have character. They're no longer like building character anymore. I think like the
Yeah.
last 3 we've had
yeah.
have been
I think it's like it's their way to sneak in like something that like wouldn't normally work as just a premium combo and is too big for like in the prize pack.
yeah. Because we had Dog Days was like that, wasn't it? Showbiz Showdown. Wait, no, Showbiz
Oh
Showdown had
yeah,
Chinos though, actually.
Yeah, that
Showbiz
was
Showdown
the
had Chino,
Yeah,
but
it's
what
weird
was the
though.
other one?
Anyway, the car one
It's
as well
always there.
in Hell on Wheels, a bunch of cars, wasn't it?
Yeah,
oh
but
yeah, yeah.
that's the kind I'm like talking about. Like they gave us like
Yeah, a
oh
bunch of
wait, never
cars.
mind.
Yeah, I see what you mean though.
I was
Yeah,
gonna say they gave us like 10 cars, but they only gave us like 5, right?
yeah, it's like 5 or 6, I think.
Yeah,
But still, it's it's a cool way to add a bunch of cars in. But
yeah.
yeah, any other thoughts on the update before we move on? Anyone want to say something?
I'll just say like it's a fun update. Probably one of definitely better than the last year. Not the best, but it's a fun one.
For sure, Martha.
Yeah, yeah. I thought, well, yeah, way better than last year's update. I think, yeah. Say compared to the year before last year's, which I played, which was, yeah, I'd say it's a pretty solid update. It does have a lot of flaws, but I'd say overall it's yeah, it's decent.
All right, yeah, I think similar. Really, it's pretty good, but I think
Yeah.
character-wise, for me, it's lacking a little. Building-wise, it's fairly solid, and decoration-wise, I think for the most part, it's good. What would we all give it in terms of out of 10?
I will give it a 7 out of 10.
7.
An 8 from
An 8.
me.
I'm gonna agree with BoRt and say also a 7.
Fair enough.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Shall we move on to our question?
Yeah.
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 All right. Who was it again? What was the question again? Sorry.
That was me.
Yeah. Do you want to explain what the question is to
Yeah.
everyone?
So the question is, what is the best type of holiday update? So it's like a bit like hard to explain, but what do you think is like the best update that like we've gotten like per like track record? So like what have we like had the best like Halloween updates or Christmas or Valentine's Day, St. Patrick's Day? Not like what you're looking forward to, but like looking back, what is the best update like type of Halloween type of holiday update that we've had?
Yeah. So, I think in this situation it'd be easy just to kind of look at quantity. I think I want to look at like overall sort of like an overall average score if I was to like in my head.
What
Yeah.
is new to the town? Do we like, for example, Halloween? Like you could think Halloween is the best, but then like think of like all of the crappy Halloween updates we've gotten as well, like quantity over quality as well.
Yeah, I think Halloween is definitely not there for me. I've never really liked the Halloweens. But it's tricky when you mention Valentine's Day, St. Patrick's Day, Thanksgiving, because especially something like 4th of July or actually even like St. Patrick's Day. I don't think there's been one St. Patrick's Day update I've really hated. But then the issue is a lot of these earlier St. Patrick's updates literally just added like one character and like, or sometimes one NPC. Like one year we just got the Northern Irish Leprechaun and that was it. So it's in some respect I like those updates, but I do wish that they added more, you know? So I think for me, it's tricky. Thanksgiving's another like really solid one for the most part.
Yeah.
I mean, I always love the Christmas updates because I just feel like it's just kind of like a fun thing. I think was it you Magnus who said that like you didn't like the snow?
No, I
in
don't
the
like the
town.
snow. I hate the snow.
I mean, yeah, I feel like it messes up the decorations, definitely. But I do feel like Christmas is just always like a nice kind of update where you can.
Yeah, for the most part, I've liked all the Christmases. I think one of the better updates was the Christmas update where they added Maggie. That whole event was insane. That was really, really good. And even a Simpsons Christmas Story, whatever it was called, where they added like a bunch of. I kind of like that update a lot, even though it was a very much a doppelganger update and also started the multi-event scheme. It invented it. Well, no, it didn't. But it was the first update that did it. But yeah, I don't know. I think I probably would say Christmas because even like if I say Valentine's Day, there was that one atrocious Valentine's Day that one year.
Well, are we even gonna do Valentine's Day anymore?
I don't think so. Well, the issue is there's only 2 of these are actually every year. So I feel like the question is.
Well, Thanksgiving, so 3, I guess.
Well, yeah, 3. But then Thanksgiving. Yeah, actually, maybe I'd just say Thanksgiving. Because at least they're always like short. They don't last long. Plus Thanksgiving,
short but sweet.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, it always comes with the Black Friday as well. I suppose. I guess you can count that too.
Yeah. Once it gets to January, I'm just kind of done.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I might actually, unironically, I'm gonna say Thanksgiving.
It's kind of a tie for me between Halloween or between Thanksgiving and Christmas. Although I do like Valentine's Day, but honestly, I'll have to go Thanksgiving too. It's like short but sweet always.
Yeah, and for me, really, Thanksgiving. I think, particularly last year, actually, this sort of Northward Bound update, that was quite a big addition to the game. And
Yeah.
and say the updates that year as well, the other, say, like Halloween and Christmas, they didn't actually have any. We didn't have any big expansions. So yeah, and I think I did have the previous Thanksgiving, so definitely that for me.
So yeah, I'll have to go Thanksgiving too. Or I already said it, but I feel like we all Thanksgiving's probably genuinely I've never really heard anyone who says they don't like the Thanksgiving updates.
I think as a whole,
No.
Yeah, as a whole, I really do love the Thanksgiving updates just because it's like having an annual. The Halloweens and the Christmases, they last so long because they're big major updates. And if one's pretty crappy, it's gonna, you're sticking with it for a month and a half, however long the update lasts. Whereas the Thanksgiving updates are always mini updates anyway, sometimes less than, if you go back to previous years. And they're just short and sweet. They're not too complicated. Although I do think a lot of them are very loose in terms of how they relate to Thanksgiving, but then that's obviously partially because the show doesn't really tend to, doesn't provide much content for that holiday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Shall we move on, or has anyone got anything to add? We've obviously not spent all of our allocated time, but we did go over on the other segments. So
yeah.
No, I think.
I got nothing.
All right. Let's we'll move on early then, I suppose, to a look to the show. Yeah, that's the one.
Speaking of holidays.
Yes. So, Arthur, you of course picked this episode.
I picked this episode, and I decided to pick the Treehouse of Horror V episode. I mean, I have very fond memories of watching this episode.
All right, shall we do what we did last time as well? Oh, sorry, you carry on. You're telling us about your episode.
No, it's all right. I honestly love all the different sort of segments in it. I really liked all the segments. So
I've actually never. This is probably my favorite episode of Treehouse of Horror.
I think it's the best one.
I feel like it's kind of universally said that this is one of the best Treehouse of Horrors.
I mean, all 3 segments are really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never seen The Shining, but I feel like I know everything because of that segment.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
Shall
so-
we talk about all the segments individually?
Yeah.
Obviously,
Yeah.
there's not really. Obviously, this is the intro, but I don't think anyone.
It's not like a...
Yeah, it's nothing. It's not like last time where we looked at the BoRt segment. So, shall we just start with the very first one, which is, of course, the shinning? Is it start with the shinning?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a shitting.
Yeah. So yeah, let's talk about the shinning.
I'm gonna be honest, I know like every line in this segment.
Don't mind if I do.
You want to get sued?
Yeah, I think the fact that they essentially tell that entire film in the short time they have is a testament to the writer's credibility. I think it's amazing how well paced, but how like economic that sort of segment is. The way that they're able to completely tell the tale of that film in such a short time, and a lot of like
and as well, making it like not like making it a direct copy, but like making it The Simpsons.
it's a
take on The Shining.
It is kind of a copy, but it's a copy which adds the Simpsons flair. You know, like it isn't like they're just playing said characters from the the film or the book. They are actually the characters sort of realigned slightly for that role. So the fact that obviously Homer has no beard, no TV, which is like an essential characteristic of Homer Simpson as a character, and the fact that like certain characters that show up, like I don't think they show up. I think this is a deleted scene. Like they have like Sherry and Terry show up as the twins. Obviously, they're inspired from those characters. But there's a deleted scene that's really cool. But obviously, we'll ignore that one. But like you have Moe being the barman. You obviously have like Willie kind of playing. Oh God, I forget his name now from the film.
Yeah, God.
Willie gets really butchered in this episode.
Who's the guy? Oh, what's his name? Is it?
I can't remember the. I know you're on about.
Is it Sam? Was it? No.
No, God.
God, it's been so long since I watched that awful sequel.
Dr. Sleep, right?
Well, I don't hate it. I just kind of like it feels like Stephen King's revenge for Stanley Kubrick making a film he didn't like.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I don't know. I was really uncomfortable with it. The fact like Stephen King was so heavily involved in the film. Richard, wait, is his name Richard?
Yes.
Yeah, Richard.
Yeah.
Yeah, Willie kind of plays that character, and like obviously in the book, the Shining book, he doesn't die. In the film, he does, and it's kind of like why? And then they have Willie die in the exact same way. I kind of like that.
Yeah.
The Willie just gets like stabbed in the back. So
yeah, all throughout this segment, which is kind of a nice way. It's nice. It's a nice through line for it as well. But yeah, that segment was great. Anyone else?
Yeah, excellent.
I feel like one of the like best moments is like Homer like chasing Marge up the stairs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because like they really show his like insanity there.
Yeah.
But like also making it like comedic as well.
Yeah. I love that. I think that's probably the best segment out of all three for me personally. Although.
Yeah, and mine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I agree.
Rating out of 10 for this segment?
10. 10 out of 10.
Yeah, 10 for me as well. All right. Shall we move on to the second segment?
Yes.
Yes.
Which one's the second one again? Is it Time Traveling Toaster?
The Time and Punishment. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
Time Traveling Toaster.
Yeah, it is Time Traveling Toaster. Okay. This is just such a fun, kooky, fun sort of way to showcase different like sort of multiverses, I guess. But also, it's got a simple story. It's Homer's trying to get back home. I mean, without obviously.
And I'm pretty sure this is based off a short story.
Oh yeah, probably. But I think actually no. I think I remember I read that when I did my review all those years ago for this episode. All those years ago, it was a couple of years ago. But yeah, I really like the time traveling toaster segment. It's really fun.
I think they do a lot with like the different universes, especially the like when Homer goes there and sorry, I'm trying to remember this one. Oh, it's the fan like where everything is perfect, and then he leaves because there's no donuts.
And then it rains donuts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like a lot of what they do with the alternative, because they could just go, so simple, like, one's like technologically advanced, and it's like, they could do something like really high, sort of, what's the word, like, something crazy. But I think they're always quite simple. Like, they've got, like, obviously the one he settles with is they've got like lizard tongues, but like, and that's the only difference. And then the other one is obviously like the Ned Flanders Re-Education Center holds. I love that segment. I think that's hilarious. This sort of Orwellian sort of state. And then they have, God, I can't think of the other one. There was the one obviously where he just shows up and Willie gets killed.
Oh no, that's the Maggie.
Yeah.
This is indeed a disturbing universe.
Yeah. And then they also like cut away to Coders briefly, and they turn into Peabody and Sherman, which is pretty funny too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this one, there's so much fun in this one, and I think it's another perfect segment for me.
Yeah. Definitely just a great one.
What are we gonna give it out of 10?
I will give it a 9.5.
Yeah, I'd have to go the same.
Do you know what? I think The Simpsons is at its best sometimes when it just has kooky, silly fun. So I'm gonna say a 10.
Okay.
Hey.
What's the last segment? Good.
Nightmare Cafeteria. That's it.
Oh,
Yeah.
actually, fun fact about this. I don't remember. It might have been in Australia or UK, but the episode was rated MA because of this segment. It felt like bloody and disturbing.
Yeah, I remember this one. Like, I thought this was like one of my favorite segments as a child, because I think I was like a little psycho. So I love this one. This is great. This is, I think, the one sort of segment that really delves into actual kind of horror, because it's like
a horror where it's not like a parody either.
Yeah,
it's like so.
It's
original.
It's mostly original, yeah. Well, yeah, original. They've probably taken some things, but like, yeah, it's an original idea for the most part. And I think setting it in the school is so cool, and obviously because you can have established characters that we already know of, like Skinner, and obviously Lunch Lady Doris / Dora, whatever the heck her actual name is. And they have, it's brutal, it's bloody, and it's also really disturbing because all these kids are getting turned into food. It's actually like, it's so crazy. Like, I don't think
I think the crazy scene is like when they're like, oh, it's okay because we'll just wake up in the end, and then Milhouse just completely falls into like the shredder.
Yeah.
And that was it's a dark episode or segment, but it's a good one.
Yeah, I really love this
good.
one. I think lots of cool gore. It's a simple premise. Well, I say lots of gore. There wasn't tons of gore. It wasn't even that gory. I mean, the only scene is when Lunch Lady Doris kind of bursts in the door and she's all like bloody with the whisker or whatever it is. I think that's like the most brutal scene. But it is a pretty disturbing. I mean, it's obvious they're eating children, so maybe.
Yeah, that's disturbing enough.
Yeah, I think this one for me, I do wish I don't know, I think there's something missing from it. I always have felt and maybe it's the abrupt end where it kind of cuts to that little, cut away with the Simpsons Inside Out dancing.
Yeah, that's odd.
Maybe it's that, but I've always felt this one like missing something for me, so I'd probably have to give it like an 8, to be honest.
It's like a good one, but probably not my favorite.
Yeah, not my favourite. No, out of the 3, definitely. Yeah, I'd have to give it a 9. Yeah.
9?
Yeah, I'll give it a 10, honestly.
You give it a 10, so we're gonna round it off with a 9, I guess. Alright. So, what... I guess that was probably... It's probably obvious it's going to will be 9s and 10s, but what would we give the episode as a whole?
Ooh.
10 out of 10. I think pretty solid segments all around. I think the Time and Punishment is maybe the weakest one, but still great.
Yeah, I think for me, I don't know. I think the last segment was probably the one perhaps there were things wrong with it for me, but yeah, the other two segments were brilliant. I'd have to go with a 10, I think.
Yeah.
I think I would. I'm gonna stick with a 9, but it's a very close to a 10-9, I guess. A 9.5 if we're doing 0.5s. All right, shall we move on to talk about what they can add from this episode?
Okay, yeah.
Oh yes.
So again, shall we go segment by segment?
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
So let's start with the shinning. So, BoRt, what do you have from the shinning, if anything?
Okay, I have a surprising amount, but I don't know if this is all completely realistic. First one I have to say is just like Mo in that bartender outfit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's a great one. Yeah.
I feel like it'd be cool. Maybe not the best, but I think it's a good costume for Mo.
It could be. They could do something like really cool with it, especially like
the
elevator. The elevator of blood scene where like the blood kind of comes out the elevator. Like if they could do something where they incorporate an animation with that costume with Mo, where like he spawns like the elevator of blood and like a little elevator spawns or something, and it opens with all the blood.
Really
like it'd be like an awesome way to kind of use that costume to bring in some of the scenes from that episode.
Yeah, I think that would be great.
Yeah. Arthur, do you have one?
I don't know. I was like, so the writing on the walls in the Shining segment. Yeah. I wonder if they could make like a sort of set,
like an interior, maybe.
Yeah, like an interior set. Yeah.
Yeah, possibly. I mean, I think with
That'd
interior,
be cool.
the interiors can sometimes work. I just think often than not they don't. But
but.
Possibly, because they could do it as as a wall, maybe, not as like an interior, just as like a decoration.
Yeah,
on
that's
the wall.
true.
I've got. So I didn't get much from this segment. No, obviously there's that one scene where like everyone bursts in and drags Homer out of the pantry.
I had some from that too.
Yeah, and I'm like, you could add a lot of those guys, but obviously we've got some of them anyway. Like the Mummy, we've pretty much got the Mummy already. We've got the werewolf already, I suppose. In this, in a sort of different version, and we've got Dracula already. So it only really leaves all the copyright ones. So you got obviously Jason there, Pinhead, and who else was there? I think that was it, wasn't it?
Freddy Krueger.
Freddy Krueger as well, yeah. But I think as well, there's always I think especially with the Jason one, he doesn't look very Jason-y, and so I think like you could always like rename him like Hockey Mask Killer or something. Obviously, we all know it's Jason, but like if Paul Flart can somehow pass, if Paul Flart can somehow is allowed in terms of parody law, I don't see why Hockey Mask Killer couldn't also be allowed. Yeah.
I mean, Family Guy does this stuff all the time, and uses their real name too. So like, why can't Simpsons?
I mean, the Simpsons do too, but I think the Tapped Out is where it's tricky because they've licensed the Simpsons. They've not licensed.
No, but like Family Guy game.
Yeah. Oh no, I realize that, but I think again, I just think they're a bit more. They're a bit
That's
more
true, yeah.
courageous than EA.
Yeah.
As well, I think they're crazy. They have like actual celebrities. It's mental to me how crazy. They have like Aquaman and stuff. He's not even like obscure stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I think that one could work though, like I said, and you could add some of those others from that crowd. Have you got any more, BoRt, or did I just basically steal all yours?
I have like two more besides that. So I guess I'll say one of them. I have one more, but when they're all kind of like huddled up and completely frozen, I feel like that could be a pretty cool decoration.
Yeah, I had
Or
that.
maybe even an animation, possibly.
Yeah, that's true.
That would be cool. Yeah. Yeah.
Do we even have an animation with the whole family involved?
I don't think we do.
Because that could be
I
like
don't
something
think so.
cool to see. I think
Yeah.
maybe the snow globe one. Does that include
Oh,
all
yeah.
the family?
I
I don't know if it does actually.
don't know if it does. If it includes Lisa.
I think it's technically Angel Lisa, isn't it?
Oh, that's true.
I guess that kind of counts, but I mean not really, because they made Angel Lisa a separate character, which made no sense. But whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there anything
I
else?
had one more.
Go on.
Yeah, I
Arthur.
got one more.
Yeah. Arthur, you go first.
Arthur?
Yeah, well, just the red rum cube, I called it.
Oh yeah.
The cubes.
Okay.
When like
Just like,
Maddie
I
came
don't know,
in.
it could just be like a small thing, but I feel like it'd be quite cool.
Yeah.
What do you have got?
I had Willie's cabin.
Yeah, I also had that.
Oh, nice, yeah.
Yeah, but I didn't have like much that side.
All right. Shall we move on to the time traveling toaster segment?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. I want to start. We gotta have the Simpsons shoe house.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is a. I don't know. I kind of like that. I kind of wish they save it though for like a different type of update, because it's like I've always wanted them to do some sort of like fairy tale update, and I think
That would be so cool.
that would be a cool little item to save for that type of update. But it is a I do really like that shoe, the old woman who lives in the shoe house.
Yeah.
BoRt or Arthur, whoever wants to go next.
I can go. I had like two for this, but the sloth bear thing basically.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that.
the like shrugging sloth bear. I think that'd be like a fun NPC.
Yeah, especially if you tapped it and it like went, huh? Or I
Yeah.
don't know, that would be cool. Yeah, Arthur.
I didn't actually spot anything else. Yeah, I don't know. Because I suppose maybe they could add more from the dinosaur world, but I don't know. They've already got loads of dinosaurs, so
Yeah.
especially after last year.
Yeah.
I also had from that same little montage the Simpsons sort of Flintstone house, or I guess you can call it the
Oh
the,
yeah.
the,
Oh yeah.
the
Yeah.
I don't know, just call it the Simpsons caveman house, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
BoRt.
That's cool.
I had one more. I had Peabody and Sherman. If they can get around that, then that would be kind of funny to see in the show or in the game.
Yeah, I think it's too. They could add Winnie the Pooh to the game, He's now Winnie the Pooh is now public. Yeah, Winnie the Pooh is now public domain, so they could add Winnie the Pooh to the game.
They're already making that like a horror movie, so I wouldn't be surprised. Like people are going all out with Winnie the Pooh now.
I'm just curious, when did Peabody and Sherman first come out?
I believe it was it would have been like a comic, but I think Sony owns the rights to it now because they made that movie a while back.
Yeah, probably. It's a 1950s book apparently, so yeah, it's not old enough. Wait, it's nowhere near old enough quite yet. But
Yeah, so like the book version.
yeah. Well, yeah, because at the end of the day, if the original book was published whatever date, and the author's died, it's not it's normally when the author dies plus so many years, and so.
And then if like the family renews the license as well, it's all.
Yeah,
with that.
so like Winnie the Pooh being in the public domain, for example, the character is in the public domain, but the Disney, like any recent films that Disney have released about Winnie the Pooh, they're not in the public domain. You have to have
the book version.
Yeah, you have to have your own spin on the character. It's the same with like Dracula as well, I suppose, because like obviously there's all these Dracula films that are not in the public domain. So if you want to write Dracula in a story, you have to make yours somewhat unique. It can't copy another version.
Yeah, and I feel like they could do it. DreamWorks owns and is DreamWorks owns like the newest version, but I guess the book version.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had another one. Wait, is it my go?
Yeah.
So there's also, I may as well just run through all of them. There's the Simpsons igloo. We've already got igloos and stuff in the game, so maybe there's not enough with this one. But if they added like the fence or the wall at the left/right of the house, they could maybe pass it off. And then there's also, I think it's like a diner. Like the Simpsons house turns into like a diner. Kind of looks like that.
It's McDonald's.
Oh, is it a McDonald's?
Oh,
It's
right.
like a classic McDonald's.
Oh, is it?
The
Oh.
original
Noticed
one.
that. Wow.
Or whatever. Either what McDonald's looked like in the 90s or like the early McDonald's. So I saw the M.
Oh, I didn't even see an M. Maybe it's the... I don't know.
It looks different.
Okay. Fair enough then. Whatever. I guess maybe not that one. Well, I don't know. They could always possibly. They just call it the Simpsons fast food house, whatever.
Yeah, they could pass
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. And
It's not like
I think
McDonald's would care very much.
there was obviously the boss Sphinx, but we've already got that in the game. I don't think there was any others on that one.
No.
No.
And then... Was there another... Don't think I got any characters. I think that's all I got.
I guess that you could do the underwater house, but that's kind of tough.
Yeah, I kind of skipped. Yeah, I purposely skipped that one.
Yeah.
All right. Any other characters / costumes or decorations or buildings
No.
from this segment? All right, let's move briefly to the last one. The only thing I got was the big blender, the Hamilton Beach
I had a
blender.
few of these.
Yeah.
But I had the skin chopper as well.
The skin chopper.
It's the Hamilton Beach skin chopper.
Yeah, that's what I meant. The big blender thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait, is that what it's called? You're talking about the big thing that they almost fall into at the end?
Yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah.
I had two skins for Lunch Lady Doris. So I had the Oktoberfest and the Cannibal one
Yeah.
of her.
Yeah, cool. Yeah.
Arthur, what'd you have?
I had the I think it was one of them on fire at one point. I can't quite remember who now, but I just put like burning teacher, but that could be like a facade.
Yeah.
Oh no, a facade, an outfit. Sorry.
I kind of remember that.
Yeah, I don't know who. I can't remember who it was, but I remember they were teaching or something, and then. But it was like a shocking moment, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
Any others?
Was it Willie?
I think that's from a different segment when Willie's on fire.
Maybe.
Oh yeah. Is that? I'm not sure.
No, I know.
I had
Because Willie gets killed in the corridor when he comes out. He's like, "Don't worry, kids, I'll save you." And then Skinner kills him.
Oh yeah,
I'm
of
glad
course.
at this.
Yeah.
I had the free range children.
Yeah, I also had that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Although I think like you'd have to remove, because I looked at it, I think you can see like Sherry / Terry and Lewis in there. You'd have to remove those two, but all the others look kind of generic anyway. So you could like,
Yeah.
you could just have like some generic looking kids. And actually, what they could do is any of these like NPC kids who show up in other characters' animations, just chuck them in the pen.
Yeah. Did you have any others?
I'm all out.
No,
Okay,
yeah. I'm all out.
The one last thing I had was the Oktoberfest Skinner.
Yeah. I suppose
That's
they
like
could.
an outfit.
Yeah. I think if they were to do like an Oktoberfest update, they could definitely add a lot of
Yeah, I
those.
think that would work cool.
Yeah, and like plus there was that one, obviously not Treehouse of Horror segment. There was another like segment where they go to an Oktoberfest where there's like a Duffman costume that they can add. So like, and some stalls and stuff. So they could do like a cool little Oktoberfest and add some of this stuff from this episode.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
So we move on to unless anyone wants to seriously suggest the Inside Out Simpsons as a skin.
I do not have.
Was going to, but
Shall we move on to the next
I
segment?
love that. That's just like such a fun ending. Just want to say that.
Yeah, I do like the ending. It's a nice little number.
Good
to end
callback
things.
to the beginning.
Yeah.
To the end of the first segment.
Yeah. All right. Shall we have our blast from the past? I suppose.
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. So blast from the past. I chose. I got BoRt to pick between two. I wanted to look at a Thanksgiving update, seeing as the next update we're going to be getting is going to be Thanksgiving, and I was tempted to look at what I think is one of the better ones, but we decided instead to look at last year's one, which is of course Northward Bound. So I think this might be the sort of earliest blast from the past we've looked at. It's not really too far in the past because obviously this came out last year.
But like it's we've got a year wait. Like
yeah. I think well, to be fair, as long as it's I think the rules for Blast for the Past is as long as we've not covered it on the podcast, it's fair game. So
yeah.
I loved this update quite a lot. I think it was so awesome. I want to separate it from the Black Friday stuff for a starter, so let's not talk about the Black Friday part of this update. Let's purposely just talk about the expansion and the Thanksgiving, the prize track essentially. So
yeah,
I love the expansion. The expansion's great. It's amazing to finally get land, and I think the way they did it was, I think it was fine. It's a good little way. It's a way of adding new land with a slight twist, and I think the sort of positioning of it kind of allows you to sort of open up your desert area there. I don't know if any of you guys have done that, but I've sort of felt like all my desert area should now be designated to there.
Yeah, I put my Wild West stuff over there.
Oh, well, I kind of put all my Wild West stuff that then slowly turns into the casino stuff that then slowly turns into like the Outland stuff. That's how I've kind of...
I did Wild West, it turns into Circus, turns into Geriatric Park.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I just put like my big areas over there.
Yeah, that's fair. So, a lot of amazing sort of... with the expansion as well, like the new sort of canyon, the waterfall we got, when you obviously have the bridge, then you can add the monorail really bridge nice. As well. It's all like simple stuff that just looks really cool, and then obviously they added tunnels that you can new tunnels you can throw in there, which is awesome, and that's not even talking about the prize track yet, and the prize track I think is.
It's a bit lackluster. But
it's a little lackluster, but I think with the trees... Oh, God, no. I haven't even finished. The trees! The trees look... I love the trees that they added. All those trees were so nice. Yeah. I've been longing...
That's kind of what I use now.
Yeah, I've been longing for more trees like that. Like, why can't we get some more trees here and there? The donut veins... The donut veins were also so awesome. Like... Getting those donut veins is so cool. It's a nice little reward for having to grind, getting all your maps and unlocking all the land. It's a long grind, and people complain that it's too hard, but I think it is, but at least there's a reward. It's not just the land you get, you also do get a donut vein, and sometimes it might just be like 3 donuts, but I think sometimes they can be like 100 donuts as well, so... So,
Did you end up buying the golden pickaxe thing?
I did buy it. But I don't know how much of an effect it really had.
Yeah,
it's like
haven't got
a
one
10%
jackpot.
boost or something.
I've got one jackpot once.
I got really lucky. I think I got 3 altogether. But like with all of my land there.
Oh, I haven't picked all of them though. To be fair, the donut veins I do think are a bit ugly though. It's like decorations.
Yeah, but I feel like they're nice to have like.
Yeah. The buffaloes are cool, although the buffaloes are lifted literally straight from the zoo update. They're literally just lifted from the exhibit. But I think it's cool.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
It's cool nevertheless, yeah. And then like talking about the prize track, like I said, it's a little lackluster. It's a little boring. I think Lisa's
Connie Appleseed is like
she's okay.
It's enough of a doppelganger. That, like we can.
I don't hate her too much. And then like the building, Pone Pelts and Beyond is pretty cool. The wagon, I mean, I don't care for too much just because we've got similar things before. But the Frontier Camp and the Frontier Town are very cool. The Frontier Camp I actually really love. I think that's a really great.
I like the town a lot, actually.
Yeah, and then obviously
me too.
Cookie was pretty cool. I didn't mind him. I kind of wanted maybe a little bit more from him, but I think he was okay.
He's nice, yeah.
Yeah, I do wish with the ranch though, like, so we got Lazy Eye Ranch, but we don't have like the sign, and the ranch is like, if you watch the episode, the ranch is quite big. It's like, it's made up of like, there's like a beaver dam, and then there's also like a sort of Native American sort of campground that's where the beaver dam is, and the ranch has like this spooky forest area as well, kind of off from it. It's a very lived in area, but we get just like the one building. I kind of wish that they maybe, and obviously you've got the Hootenanny barn as well, but I kind of wish that they might have at least given us like a really cool sign with it, added a few more bits from it maybe. Like recently.
Yeah, I feel like the sign would be nice.
Yeah. There's also like the fallen hats of like the soldiers who like their hats were shot off in the war, so all their hats are hung up. There's like so many like little cool things in that ranch that I think could have been nice to get as alongside. And this is like part of like a little issue I find. And they kind of fix it in this one where they have like the tunnels and stuff. But I don't see what's the problem with adding a few new things to the store, like adding like a few decorations for cash. Like new decorations, because something like that could just be. I really appreciate it if they did that more.
Me too.
Yeah, it'd be nice.
Yeah. Any more comments on Northward Bound?
No, I don't actually have much about this.
It is just really great. I don't think any Thanksgiving update is gonna top it just because of the land expansion it gave. Sorry, I'll let you go on.
I was really gonna say that. Yeah, and I mean the donuts. I mean I don't think they've ever really released an update that gave that many donuts to people.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice for new players.
Yeah, definitely.
Although it is a bit hard. The only thing I'm sort of briefly going into Black Friday a little bit. I really don't like the Jackpot Realty being added as a way to get maps. I don't know, it felt it's like really convoluted, and Jackpot Realty literally costs you like, what was it, like 80 quid?
50, I think, is the max.
I think it's 80,
right?
isn't it?
80. Oh yeah, actually it might be.
It's like $80, £80, I think.
God, wow.
To
I thought it was 50, but yeah.
Wait, actually no, it might be 50. Maybe I'm wrong.
I think it might be 50.
Yeah, okay, well, fair enough then. 50. It's still a lot regardless.
No, yeah, 50.
Yeah,
that's way too much.
Because in the Black Friday, I just got Ian, and then also the Big and Tall Man shop, so I didn't get steamed hams. It was tempting to pay an extra for steamed hams, but I couldn't do it.
No, same.
I had like that. That was, steamed hams was pretty lackluster, honestly. It wasn't great.
Yeah.
It's nice, but like, not worth that much.
Yeah, we'll have to see what they do next year with, it's next year. Next update with Black Friday. We'll have to see.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed. Yeah.
I do hope there's less character. I don't like it when there's characters in there because I like to have all the characters. So yeah, I'm hoping there's.
Yeah.
Anyway, anything else to say about this update before we move on to our Q&A?
No, I don't have any.
All right, let's move on.
So starting out with Q&A, I would just like to say, like, we actually have a lot of questions this time. So like, thank you so much, guys.
Yeah, we'll finally hit our question goal.
Yes.
So yeah, why don't we start it out?
Yeah, so Sean, teach me magic trick. Question. This one, yeah? Yeah. What are the best characters from the worst major and mini events? I like this question.
Yeah.
Best characters from the worst major and mini events. I think.
So. Oh yeah, you can start.
Worst. What would I say is the worst? One of my worst events is like Clash of Clones. There's the Easter update. I mean, that added like Father Sean, which I don't think he was too bad. And that was a pretty abysmal update. Mini updates though. I don't think there's any mini updates I hate. Because I think a lot of the times the character really makes or breaks a mini update. So I don't think there's a lot of characters
No.
I can speak on major,
hard.
but hard to say something with mini.
Yeah, major. Yeah.
Mini
Um,
updates.
Why don't we do major first, and then we'll talk about mini
Yeah,
after.
major. I don't know. I think if we're talking like top 10 worst updates, probably. I mean, God is a good one because the Halloween update that God was added in was it was terrible. So you could say God, I suppose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I despise Springfield Enlightened, but I do like King Gautama as a character.
You like really?
I think he's definitely not like a great character, but I feel like he's the best in the update.
If I was to say what the best, I think the Master's probably the best from that update.
I actually never ended up getting the Master because I didn't have enough donuts at the time.
Yeah.
So for what I got in that update, I'd have to say King Gautama.
Okay.
Yeah, I think for me, I'm going to bring up Rise of the Robots again. But yeah, Chief Nokohama, I'd say he was a very decent character. So
yeah,
I did like. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Anyone got anything for mini updates?
That's tough.
Yeah. Like I said, I think
I can think of bad mini updates, but like you said,
it really makes or breaks a mini update the character. So
there's only like 2 in there.
Yeah, exactly, or 3, but then that tends to be the super premium. Maybe actually, I might say I really didn't. I don't even know. No, I didn't really have anything for that. I'm trying to think. I can't.
I have something, but it's kind of tough. I don't actually remember the name of this update. What was the hot dog update?
Hot diggity dough.
Hot diggity dough. I didn't really like hot diggity dough. I thought Sergeant Sausage.
Yeah, I was thinking that, but I don't think. I think probably my feelings on Sergeant Sausage are probably about the same as my feelings on that update as a whole. So I didn't want to say him. Anyway, should we move on? If I got anything else, I can mention it next episode. But
yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Mythic pLaYz says, "Great video for the Q&A. What do you think they can add to further expand past the mountains?" Ooh.
I actually have something for this, and I'm thinking, what about like a beach area? Because we have like that small, tiny little beach area, but like you can, it's really not that big. You can't place anything. So what about a full giant beach, and water area, and it's like exclusively for like just some extra water land as well, and then just a huge beach area.
Yeah, I think I would like. I think for the most part, I really wish they expand the ocean a bit more for starter. But I've always wanted the beach to be a bit bigger. I don't know. There's like a whole big beach though. Because
like I wouldn't say like a huge area, but like at least like half of what the Springfield Heights area is. I would like.
Yeah, well, to be fair, if we just got more land past the second row of mountains, they could just make the beach on that part be bigger.
Yeah. No, that's what I was
thinking. Is that what you say? Okay. I've always liked the idea of possibly doing like an island expansion, and I know that you can't really do that if you're going to go past, but I think having like a little island could be kind of cool too.
I think
you could build on.
I think like that kind of fits with mine, where like, what if past the mountains we have beach town, and it's like an island town with a huge beach. So like,
yeah,
and then we have like some water like past the mountains and some water surrounding the water.
Yeah.
I think that could work great, actually.
Yeah, for sure. But I'm trying to think, like, of districts of Springfield, though. The only, like, so we've kind of already got every district. Like, because obviously the whole Northward Bound stuff was all, original. It's not really based on any sort of thing in the show, necessarily. So we've obviously got the Squidport. We've got our, main town. They did cross the line briefly, but then it got brought into Springfield. We've got the Heights, Springfield Heights. There is like the Springfield Badlands, but it's kind of like desert area. But we've already kind of got that in the form of just having desert buildings and desert as a tile. Yeah, so it's tricky because it's not. any other... I'm trying to think of other sort of districts of Springfield. The only other thing I can think of is if, like, past the mountains they do something, like, kind of crazy, like a capital city or something, you know, where, like, there's,
that would be really cool, actually.
Yeah, like...
Yeah.
But, like, how much do we even see capital city? Like, there's not a ton of...
Yeah, no, but there's, like, a lot of, like, it's a big city, and they could always just incorporate a lot of, like, you know, buildings from, like, New York episodes and all that, just incorporate that in the capital city expansion.
Yeah, actually, that would be a great idea.
Yeah, and then, like, you open up to capital city, but maybe it could be different in, like, maybe similar to how...
Shelbyville.
Yeah, but Shelbyville's quite small, it's not very grand, and we've already got most of Shelbyville's big buildings in the game anyway. So
that's great, yeah.
I think Capital City is like quite a grand building, and I just think that grand city or whatever, it's a city obviously. So I think you could have like, and maybe similar to how like Futurama Wars of Tomorrow and Family Guy works, where you unlock areas, like the cloudy area, and that could be maybe a cool way. So you actually unlock it that way instead of unlocking the buildings, and then you can move the city around and stuff. You could add like so many new roads. You could add like so much cool stuff to that, something like that. I don't know. That's a few ideas I've got anyway.
Yeah.
Any other ideas?
I think those are probably pretty perfect.
Yeah, I couldn't top those.
All right. K&W Productions asks, what would you call the biggest missed opportunity in The Simpsons Telltale?
Oh, that's a good one.
Ooh.
It's always, again, it kind of similar to that point before with the costume shop. I think for me, I always wish they did something with the mall and all the mall buildings. And part of me does kind of wish that they might have done like an expansion with the mall. I've always been a bit salty about it, even though it was just like an idea I had where like we, design the mall, but like an interior similar to Krusty Land. But then I don't know if I'd go so far to say it's a missed opportunity.
Yeah.
Part of me wants to say like adding Bender to the game, but then that was because of like legal issues. It's a tricky question.
I have a small idea. I feel like they just completely missed out with like not expanding past level 60. Oh
god, yeah, actually levels. No, I agree with you there.
Yeah,
levels are the biggest.
It's a big one.
Yeah, I think it's lost a lot from the game as well, because I remember when you'd wait, even if we just had like a new level twice every year, I think that would be enough.
Or one other thing, no season 34 prize track.
Yeah, that's but I don't know if I'd say that's the biggest missed opportunity, you know.
I feel like they stopped doing tie-ins and it was like a cool thing, and then they brought the season 33 prize track back, or brought it back with that, which was super cool, and they just completely forgot about it.
Yeah. All right, next one. Unless anyone's got any others to say, anything else to say. Oh, Alfred,
no.
Did you have some biggest miss?
Yeah, well, yeah, I suppose, like, the Barney bundle that we got, like, I forgot
the key to the city thing.
Yeah, it came alongside the key to the city, but say if they added more of those bundles and sort of actually added good value bundles to sort of future updates, they, in terms of like, expanding the game, it could
better deals maybe.
Yeah,
better deals.
Yeah. All right.
There's certainly a lack of that. Yeah.
All right, so we got one from Dream's dad. Name a character who doesn't even have a single costume, but deserves a costume in the game.
I looked at this. Fat Tony.
Sorry?
Fat Tony has no costumes, like, at all.
I don't know though, but I don't know what would you give him in terms of a costume.
I think there's just a lot of like mafia costumes that they could definitely give him.
See,
there was an episode in season 33 where he's Maggie's godfather.
Yeah.
And he has like a new costume then.
See, I would actually go with Itchy and Scratchy, because I think both don't have costumes, but there's lots of potential for so many cool costumes. But actually, I'm changing my answer. That's not my answer. That's my actual answer is Santa's Little Helper. There you go.
Yeah.
He deserves police Santa's Little Helper, but not even just that one. There's so many cool costumes they could add for Santa's Little Helper, but I feel like they're never gonna add one for such a character, which is a shame.
Yeah.
Arthur.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'm just trying to think because I think, yeah, maybe for like costume, because I think there's a couple of costumes which I think, yeah, Dr. Neck I'd have to go with actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, doesn't he have does he have Stonecoat Bomb? Does he not?
I don't think so.
Oh, I mean, I don't.
Actually,
know,
I don't think he does.
Haven't got it.
I don't think he does. No.
Oh right. Huh?
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know if the stone cutters really count. A lot of them are so lazy anyway. But yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So we got one from.
Yeah.
We got one from
Grimmokin.
Yeah. Who did you wish should have been added for the Treehouse of Horror XXXIII update? And who would you drop in exchange, costume or character? Oh, that's a cool one. Ooh. So I'm obviously always going to go for pLaYz. I love pLaYz. I think pLaYz should be added to the game as in Treehouse of Horror. And in terms of which one I'd drop, I probably, God, I don't know, Sideshow Chicken probably. Or Riveter Willy, maybe.
You can't knock him yet.
In terms of this update, there's definitely other characters that I would rather have. But in terms of like the theme of this update, the guys who worked at the costume shop in the Halloween of Horror, I forgot their names.
Yeah, those, yeah.
All of them, that would be so much cooler because they just made them crowd. And I feel like that would definitely be better for the theming and just the whole event in general, instead of something like Father Ben.
Yeah. No,
because that they just fit in better.
Yeah, for sure. Arthur?
Yeah, I don't know. Nothing really sort of immediately comes to mind. Yeah, I don't know. I don't feel. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not a massive fan of. I don't know, because if you take out maybe say Frankenscratchy, I really didn't like Frankenscratchy. It's nice to have both Itchy and Scratchy come to the game, so both, yeah, new
you
characters.
You can combine them though. They could be a 2-in-1 for sure. I don't see why they can't be a 2-in-1 character, because if you're going to add them as a separate character and not add them as costumes, just add them as a 2-in-1.
Yeah,
because they literally.
Yeah, no.
I don't understand why. Yeah.
Yeah, they definitely should do that. I mean, no. Yeah, that would be probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
Question: off the top of your heads, this is from Spring King. What's the 5 worst all-time characters in the game?
I guess I'll start.
Go on.
Marcus Milhouse. Angel Lisa. Maybe like I hate Hydrangea so much. I don't know why, but I really hate Hydrangea. I'm trying to think of 2 others. Possibly like not as many actually. I can't think of more than 3.
All right, let me try. So we got every doppelganger. Every character from Springfield Enlightened. Now I think I tend to like to go more classic ones, but I think in terms of characters that I really did not like going back in time to sort of earlier updates, the Barbarian's probably one.
Oh yeah.
I've kind of come to like the Mutant Rabbit, but at the time I hated him. But I think I more hated him because he wasn't Bender. We were meant to be getting Bender. But yeah, I think I'll probably agree with you. Like Angel Lisa's a terrible one. Marcus Milhouse, those ones are pretty bad. We're just doing playable, aren't we? Damn.
Yeah.
Oh
So
god,
many
Yeah.
NPCs.
young Frink or whatever it was. I didn't like him. I think he was probably the worst out of all the young characters in that one update.
Oh, that reminds me. Teenage Smithers. I didn't like.
Oh yeah, Teenage Smithers was a bad one too. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. There is some. The Wiccans. Oh no, I haven't even. The Wiccans. I hate the Wiccans.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't have them. So.
They're so annoying. When you always have on, there's a funny video on Spring King's channel where I go on a big rant about how how they just every time you tap them they have the one is we're Wiccans. So if you're like playing through them, all you hear every time you tap on them is we're Wiccans, and it actually drove me up the wall like so much.
Yeah. That voice is just.
Yeah, I think there's a few anyway. I probably don't know if they're the exact top 5 worst, but there's a few.
No, yeah, a tough. For me, Angel Lisa was just shocking. I think I'm trying to think of other ones. Probably. Oh, honestly, I just really didn't like a lot of the characters from the Rise of the Robots. And then I didn't actually play the Enlightened event, but so yeah. But yeah, so I think say the Lady BoRt and Bestimus Mucho. They just make me shiver.
Yeah. Should we just do one more question because we've gone way over the limit for this already, and then we can do all the rest of the questions we can do next episode because we've got a lot of backlogged. Obviously, still leave questions for us, everyone, but we'll eventually get to your question, but just not this episode because we've gone way over. So from Dishonorable Mention, we've got which NPC do you think could be an actual character?
Snowball 2.
I've got a few. So Snowball 2 is a definite one. The Capital City Goofball, I don't understand why he's not a full playable character. And especially considering they made Stampy. Stampy was an NPC and he was an NPC, he was a character with 2 tasks and then they turned him into a full playable character. But they didn't do the same. They didn't do anything for Capital City Goofball. Before that as well, the Snow Monster was an NPC and they gave him tasks. And Santa's Little Helper was just an NPC, and they gave him tasks. So, it was really... And Jub Jub had, 2 tasks, and they gave him, a full set of tasks. So, I don't understand why Snowball 2 doesn't have it, but I also don't understand why the Capital City Goofball doesn't have any. That one's really weird to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, God, there's definitely more. There's so many more, but I can't think at the top of my head right now. Those are the 2 biggest. Oh, Laddie. Laddie was a big one from the Dog Days update.
Oh
yeah. He's those are probably my top 3 to be honest. Okay, so Arthur, do you have one? Anything different?
Yeah, the Capital City Goofball was the biggest one that came to mind. And yeah, Snowball 2. Laddie. It's hard to think of any others. Yeah.
Alright, so shall we... I'll call it there for Q&As. Obviously, if your question wasn't answered today, don't worry, it will be definitely answered next episode. But it's good that we're finally getting questions where they're interesting questions that take us a while to discuss, and it's better to spend time discussing them than just skip over them quickly.
Yeah.
So thanks for actually finally meeting our question threshold, everyone.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
So that's going to be it for today. Thanks everyone for watching. Next episode, obviously, we will be looking at the Thanksgiving and Black Friday update, most likely, assuming that they're definitely going to stick with that. Who knows? we never know. Now, next week is also the award ceremony, which all three of us are going to be involved in too. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know in terms of how like scheduling and all that. We'll have to, because the award stuff I kind of want to take a greater importance than the podcast, just because.
Yeah.
I think normally we announce obviously as soon as Thanksgiving drops, the three of us and Lork and the Hedgehog will need to sort of work on getting all the awards sorted and picking the contenders. Obviously this year we have the committee, which has actually helped to shortlist a lot of the contenders, which is very makes our job easier. So hopefully that we can get all that done in a week, but then the podcast can kind of come sometime in the latter half of the Thanksgiving update probably.
Yeah.
All right.
Cool.
So bye from me.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for watching.
Goodbye. Thanks for watching.